All right, welcome everyone to our first panel discussion for our campaign Vision for Billion. As everyone knows, Lenskart has started this campaign to actually increase the number of people that we're reaching and improving vision care for. This is a mission that we had taken long back to reach 1 billion eyes. And as you can see on that little board over there, we've reached 40 million. If you just hear of the number 40 million in isolation, it seems like a big number. But when you see it on that pie chart, you realize not even there yet, right? So there's a lot more for us to do. There's a motto at Lenskart for all of you. We call it do more, be more. And that's what all of us stand by. And that's what our efforts in the Vision for Billion campaign are going to be, to reach as many people as we can and give them the best quality eyewear possible. And so for all of you to know more about that, we couldn't think of better panelists than the gentleman over here. They are literally the leading experts in manufacturing high quality lenses, and they're very, very close partners of Lenskart. So please give them a huge round of applause for being here with us. Thank you so much. Quick introduction to every one of them. So we have Pascal with us. Pascal is the Managing Director of the region EMEA and India at Satisloh. Satisloh is one of the leading companies in lens manufacturing solutions and supports customers all around the globe. Over the last 10 years, Pascal has had a track record in partnering with various global customers in key projects from planning to commissioning and ramp up of lens production. Thank you so much, Pascal, for being with us, and welcome. Fun bits, Pascal lives in Switzerland, which is a beautiful place, and has a master's degree in electrical engineering from ETH Zurich and recently graduated from the EMBA program at IMD in Lausanne. Volker is with us as well. He is an enterprising management executive with a technical background and strong international business experience. He studied electronics in a technical college in Switzerland as well, and worked for different engineering companies on different positions before he became a co-founder of OptoTech in Switzerland in 2007. In the meantime, he holds several positions in the OptoTech group, Managing Director of OptoTech in Switzerland, Chairman of the Board from OptoTech in the US, as well as the VP of Ophthalmic Optics globally. Welcome, Volker. Really glad to have you here. We also have Lorenzo with us. Lorenzo, thank you so much for being here. He is the Global Director of Customer Service at MEI. He believes that proven successes demonstrate the ability to achieve lasting results through the development of business relationships in the B2B area and the simultaneous improvement of business operations. His distinctive feature is the ability to understand what is functional to the business by intervening on the levers that determine company performance in the light of a coherent and well-communicated approach. His background is in programming, control, and project management gained in industrial companies. Thank you so much for being with us, Lorenzo. We also have Simon with him, who's accompanying. He is the key account director for Lenskart. He is the powerhouse behind all of our MEI machines. So thank you so much for joining us as well, Simon. Really glad you're here. And our very own rock stars at Lenskart who are going to be moderating this discussion, Piyush Arora and Rishi Sani, who will be joining us shortly. They are the powerhouses at the warehouse who are leading the entire manufacturing and lens processing piece. So they'll be leading the discussion with most of the questions, but we'll also come to you in a little bit to ask what's curious, what's on your mind and what do you want to know from these esteemed panelists. So we're happy to start. Thank you so much.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us over here. And it's a pleasure having you on this discussion. Most of the people sitting out here in this room are from the manufacturing side. And you guys being the leaders of manufacturing, how do you think the manufacturing people would make sure that we are producing the high quality lenses, or we are doing the best thing in the world as far as the lens manufacturing or the lens etching is concerned? Lorenzo, would you like to start that?
Yes. Thank you once again, and we have been today in the new facility, and it is impressive. So first of all, our compliments to all of you and your management team for what we have saw. On our side, that a few, let's say, premises on MEI. You know that, you probably know that at the end we have been a startup. We installed the very first edging machine in 2004, and we are now well established in this field at the global level, thanks, I would say, to three main solutions we provided to the market. First of all is the milling, what we call the milling revolution, so moving from changing the technology to cut lenses. And the second is the TBA, so throw the block away, which brings to something very relevant for the topics today, so lens measurement and the control of the entire edging process, before edging and after edging. And third one is the dry cut, which is something that is growing, the interest is growing because of the, let's say, environmental impact. So this is our background, and I mean, again, we are in the edging, in the edging stage, but if you, you come from, most of you come from your Gurgaon lab, and so if you look at a racer working, you see that there is an inspection stage before edging, and there is a quality control after the edging. So we are in a position to provide our valuable customer to perform a lot of checks on the lens before to cut, to be sure that the prescription is that the lens is consistent with the prescription, that the machine, they recognize engraving axis, optical center, and everything else, and then there is a quality control after the edging to verify that the lens is 100% consistent with the input data. So, I mean, we are, since the very beginning, totally focused on quality. So we are very happy to discuss about that and to, I mean, help such a, I would say, wonderful project to take off with. And thank you again.
Pascal, what do you feel about, I see you've met most of the people out here, right? And you've been coming to Lenskart from a long time. What do you feel, I mean, as a manufacturing team, what we should be doing, to improve the overall quality of lenses, improve the overall processes into the system, and make this, a place where we are delivering the high quality lenses?
I mean, also from my side, big thank that I can be here, and especially for the long relationship we have. It's now, after many years of collaboration, a big project that you embarked and that we can be part of, and I can say, and I think I speak for all of the three companies here present, it's very exciting, and it's something which in this size has not often been done in the world. So you're embarked on a journey which just follows what you have done over the last years, and I want to express a big thanks to the entire team, because without the team the whole story wouldn't work. We can produce the best machines, we can put it on the floor and connect it and run, and yes, the machines are good, we know that the machines are good, that's our core, that's what we do, delivering good machines. But it's also important to us that you know how to operate the machines. And a machine is difficult sometimes, and a machine needs to be treated well, and the machine needs to be cared of, and all this is something which you are showing and which you have been showing over the last years, and I can really say it's improved. I know because I'm on the chat where we exchange the messages, so the messages are not that often anymore, But if there is something, you always have our hand, and that's, I think, our task, to be there and hold your hand for the journey. But looking back 4 years, you really, it's, you know, like a child, you need to explain how things work, and now it's vice versa. Now you tell us what you need to make good quality lenses or high quality lenses, and in this relationship, I think it's extremely exciting to be part of that story, and thanks a lot.
Volker, your views on the same?
Yeah, so I also want to say thank you for the warm welcome here. Always appreciated to be in India, so it's always great and to work with these great people. Difficult not to say the same like Pascal, so I have to think about. When I think about quality or how to improve the quality, I think a key point is that you understand the whole process and everybody in his area, what is the influence of his work for the next step. So I think this is important. And often it starts with the simple things like cleaning a machine. How often do I clean a machine? How often do I take care of the small stuff? Because it has a big influence then. How the quality is, how the reject rate is, and so on. Coating is a good example. If you don't follow strict procedures, you always will have headache in coating. Also that you have the passion for what you're doing. This is also important. That you can give the people the passion for their part of the production, and give them this feeling that this is important, right? But in my opinion, it's the understanding of the whole production. It's the first step.
Thank you, Volker. And this MEI particularly, if I would say, is a world leader and the only one in the industry doing the edging with the best quality ways and the process they follow, the things they do, right? What do you feel, how MEI has, outrightly been number one with respect to the other people, and how do you think you'll grow further, and what is the suggestion from your side to us to, improve better in as far as, the edging is concerned?
Yeah, I think, there are several points made by you that are relevant to your question. First of all, I would say that listen to customers. This is a very generic statement, I know very well, but to be a good listener and to understand the needs of the customer, and to, even for me, I can share, I'm facing a very unusual situation with Lenskart, because this is not our standard customer, okay? We are, and the main goal for me today and in these days is to understand your point of view, because it is, in my mind, everything is clear, but this is my approach. And I'd like to sit on your chair and understand your point of view. So this is something that is a core value in MEI. I joined MEI 2 years ago, by the way. So I'm not I'm an old guy, but not in MEI. And I'm astonished because our founder and president was used to install the machine until 10 years ago. But the reason is just that being on site, at customer site, you learn as nowhere. So this is something very important. And what else? Then is, I think that for different reasons, we are facing in MEI and in Lenskart probably the same issue. In MEI, there is a new management coming in. The same is in Lenskart, and how to manage and how to balance the expertise and the expertise in the field of the ones being in the optical field for a long while, which is a tremendous value with the new vision from different market, and this is something which is not easy, and because I mean it is not easy because you have I mean you have to go and know very well the process, the whole process, get the sensitivity, what is affecting what, and discuss into the detail and go into the detail. And this is something that in a fast-growing company is not so easy. So this is.
So reminding me of the same thing, we have one of our values which says fail harder, and I think most of you must be aware is like that you have to fail, learn, relearn, and then continue the same process, right? But everything, whatever you have to do it in a faster way, so that you reach the success in a short span of time. After failing, learning, and then doing it again. So it will take some iterations, but finally you'll reach there, and that is exactly the point. Now coming to you, Pascal, you have been traveling and you've been with Satisloh for a long time now, and you've been traveling the world. So just tell me one thing, that at Lenskart and you go to different labs. What is something which we should be doing differently? What the aim of Lenskart is to be a world-class manufacturer, right? Like anybody in the world. So what are the things which we are not doing it, which we should be doing it, and what will make us reach that place?
Yeah, it's maybe building a bridge between what you said and the long experience what you have. So in many labs that you visit, they have been producing lenses for decades, and they know how to do it, and they even know it too well because they are not trying different things. So I think there is a thin line between trying out what you do, which is really good, which makes you fail on certain things, and then following the old way of manufacturing lenses. It's you talk about producing lenses in Europe or also in India or in other places of the world. It's still manufacturing. It's a different view on the whole thing. So what could help is that you partner with a lab with this old experience and you do exchange of people. Could help for both sides. Just to see how people are working that have been done working in this process for years. The interesting part is that every lab is different. So if you're only in your lab, you see only your lab and you optimize yourself. And we have the chance to travel to different labs and take out the best. So that's why I think we like to believe, and we also try to be there for you in terms of quality. But at the end, it's you who produces the lenses and we are providing the machine. So you know at the end better how to produce and where are the weaknesses. And this is, then it's, when we put this both together, then we have a good partnership. And I think that's where we are aiming.
Pascal, Lorenzo, this is a question for all actually. See, in last 10 or 15 years, we have seen a great technology change in all the aspects. Like we moved from keypad wala mobile to, we have moved to smartphones. Now, the same thing we have seen in IVRs. There are many technical changes has happened. We have achieved a good level of quality. So, can you highlight your few points in your past? You have seen the changes which were remarkable, and at the same time, can you highlight some points? The vision which we are looking after 10 years. So the new integration of technology, or there are gray areas which you need to explore in 5 years, if you can highlight.
I mean, let me start that I know you all have an opinion on this one, and that's also a personal opinion. I mean, we have seen faster machines, better performing, with more uptime and so on, but still the same machines, similar concept that have been improved. And I think, besides MEI coming with the TBA concept and the dry etching and conquering the market with that, I think the area is more about improvements than about drastic change in technology like we saw it 50 years back. And if we look now into the future, I believe it's all about simplifying the process. So the process still today is extremely complex. And you guys know that the best bringing a coating on a lens from hard coat, AR coating, that it sticks, that it has the right characteristics, that there is no crazing. It needs a lot of expertise, and as Volker said, following the process. I believe with the new concept that MEI is currently working on with the blockless manufacturing and surfacing, coming with new concepts on coating, I believe the future of the entire production will be easier than today and faster. I don't know how you see that.
Yeah, this is it's a good topic. I mean, what is for sure good, also what MEI made, I mean, the competition forces us to become better, right? And I mean, even if we hate each other, we love each other, so we can drink a beer together. And it's important that we have competition, right? Easier, I think so. There are still some manual steps where there's room for improvement to make it easier. As example, I know there are different projects in the industry about cosmetic inspection, is an example. Somebody sitting there, one shift, look at the lens, at the lens, at the lens. Then you have the next person in the night shift. This person has a different eye and different opinion, right? So you don't have the same quality. It's still manual work. So there's still room for improvement from the technology side to bring a higher quality. But what I also think when we speak about quality, this is always difficult. What is the highest quality and what you really want to achieve? Because in the end, it's also related to cost, right? So it's also the cost per lens. And that's what Pascal is saying. You go to different labs, and I mean, we all know that I say the name now, Zeiss has a really high reputation in quality, right? But we have other customers, a small lab in the US, and they have their house brand. They have other target group. So you have to define what is my target group and what quality really makes sense for me in the end too. So.
Thank you.
No, I'm just wondering, there will be a new MEI in the next 10 years. Who will be? I mean, there will be a disruption sooner or later. There will be a new technology. So, and I mean, even for us, it is very tough because I mean, when you are a small company, very focused, it is in a sense easier. When you become a multinational, larger company, it is a challenge. So I don't see. I'm not the most expert, but I don't see clear trend. There will be a major change, yes, and I mean something that you know better than me is that the size is a driver. There is a clear perspective on volumes. And let's say impact on environment is also again a clear direction. This is clear about technology. It is not clear at the moment what will be the next step, at least to me.
Yeah, I really believe we are on the edge of something, and it's what you say, on the edge of something to come. We optimized everything, and now we can optimize more. But if a machine makes 200 lenses or 220 lenses, it's not so much, it's not a drastic change. And as you said, sustainability is extremely important. Electricity cost, I mean, you heard from Europe where you have like a factor of X on the energy cost. That is extremely important. And then I think what's still in the industry, what we do not care enough is that 90% of a blank that we manufacture, we throw away. And it's different plastics, so we bury it or we burn it, but we cannot, currently we have no concepts to reuse that. And this is a lot of plastic which we throw away, so there is certainly room for improvements in not the core manufacturing, but in all the utilities around. And this is something where I believe the industry has also a kind of a task still to do, and which hasn't been looked at in the past.
Yeah. So I mean, I would like to take some questions from you. I saw some of the people, raising hands, wanting to ask you guys. So why don't you?
So, first of all, thank you sitting on the panel with such a wonderful panel. All the industry experts are here. So, I have 2-3 questions. So, let's start with the first one. So, as we have gathered together for Vision for Billion. So, if we will be working with the current technology, what we are using. So, we have taken a vision that will be reaching out to billion number of people for eye solutions and everything. So how our technology will be moving in that direction? And as Pascal sir, as you told, so there are some new concepts of coating just now. So what are those concepts or developments which I think you two must be working upon those things. So can you two people throw some light on the new concepts of coating as you told?
So let's start with the easy one. So the new concept of coating, I mean, it's coming, it's there, but I have to tell you in the beginning, it's a new technology. So we're still experimenting, and we have developed that together with Shamir. The Shamir product is called Meta, and the technology behind was developed by Satisloh. And what we try is to manufacture the coating before we have the lens. And then we put the coating as a sticker on the lens. And I always explain it is as easy as your kids at home putting stickers on a paper. And it really looks easy, and it really is easy. Now, as you know, every technology has drawbacks, and especially when it's new, things which do not work as you plan. But generally we can coat lenses with stickers. And the sticker can be polarized, can be a tinted one, can be a mirror, can be anything. Two main issues: it's still manual and not automated, and the cost of the patch is still very high, so it's not feasible to put it to the market. But at the same time, could be a blockless technology which hits the market, or it could be anything else. So I believe there are a lot of these small, or like Volker has said, the optic control, cosmetic control of a lens. I mean, think 100% of the lenses are still controlled by people.
Okay.
And there's subtractivity. So if that can be automated, and generally, I mean, other industries can do it, then why not our industry? So there are a lot of new concepts coming which will have a huge impact on how you produce it.
Okay. So if we will be going on with the sticker technology, then what is the durability of the coating? Will it be the same as compared to the current technology what we are using, or on a higher side?
So if I tell you that it's better, you laugh at me. No. But it's really better. Yeah. The thing is, let me explain.
It depends.
So a coating is, and this is when I joined Satisloh, how they explained me coating. Coating is like a blanket in a bed. It has a certain size. And if you're tall, either your feet or your head or your arm looks, so that it's never big enough. And if you make the coating harder, you pull at one corner and then your feet are out. Or you pull on another corner, and so coating is a mix of a lot of elements, and we all know it's not that easy. So if I tell you it's more durable, yes, because you have to bend it, but is it harder? Is it more stretch resistant? So still to be seen and to be developed in different things. So again, I mean, look at it, and in a few years we will see if it works also for industrial production or not.
Maybe even as a competitor, I mean, I saw the machine and the process.
Expecting an answer from your side also, yeah.
No, we speak frankly now about it, right? It's really interesting that they're doing this. If it will have success, if it will come down in the price, that it's really for mass production makes sense, we will see. But it's an idea, it's a good approach, right? And this forces us. And if we look to the coating today, we have deep coating first, and we go to the oven. Then, I mean, the hard coating or the AR depends also on the hard coating. It's really complex. And if you bring all the technology in this film and you give it to somebody, you don't have to care the technology. It's all in the film and it's just working.
I personally don't want that. What my section will do.
This is a good point. This is not a point. But you see what I mean, right? And this is important. This forces us to develop other technology, to look for new solutions. And what we see, I mean, we are all small. It's a small industry. You cannot compare us to car manufacturers, right? MEI is a small company.
It is, yes.
Satisloh, even they belong to a bigger one, is small, and OptoTech also. I mean, size means we have, I don't know, we have 300, 400 people worldwide. This is not big, right? So, and the whole industry is also small.
Which means we have to follow fail harder.
Yes, that's it. Fail harder.
That's interesting, yeah.
I mean, today we are learning a lot of things from you, but I tell you, with the values Lenskart have, and you can take that away with you as well, and you can follow in your company, and trust me, you will be on the path to success. I take another question from you.
Probably do. Thank you for the very, very insightful session. I think it was very wonderful for us to hear from you. Now, we are sitting here in India, and you have been here a few times. India is a very, very different market than the Europe, the United States, in terms of what you were mentioning, the quality, the cost they can afford. Now, most of the source of these industries would have been in those Western countries, and now India, and then start being the pioneers. We are adapting and we want to reach the billions. What is something that, and that's a question to all of you, what will you do differently for this kind of, it's for the masses. India is a big country, there is a huge population and there is a scope of growth for each and every organization that is entering, and that's why most of the multinationals are eyeing this. What is something, maybe one or two things that you would want to do differently, or you are thinking of doing differently to cater for the markets like India? Or if there are any thoughts going on?
No, naturally there have to be thoughts to go on if you work with a customer like Lenskart in this size, and I think Lenskart has achieved to manufacture lenses and supply it and high quality lenses to a customer segment which before it was just not affordable.
Absolutely.
Why was it not affordable? Yeah, because the prices of the lenses were just maybe made that high, or it was inefficient to produce, or whatever. But now Lenskart has opened a market segment which before was not able to have progressive lenses with coating, for example, and this is a huge step. Now that puts a lot of pressures on us, because when you negotiate for a machine, this is the reason, and this is a reason which you cannot also not debate. You say, that's stupid. No, it's exactly the right thing to do, and it's exactly the right way to go. Now, what can we do about it is naturally coming from Europe and having high costs of machines and utilities puts a lot of stress on the organization, and the discussion we had now looking at the new project is what part of the value chain, and must not be the value chain of the machine, but could also be for the tools which you use, which part can we localize? And there are things going on to let's say for the resharpening of the cutting diamonds, that we try that to offer in a good quality from India, and not to ship it back to Europe and resharpen there and ship it back, which is a lot of shipment cost, a lot of CO2 used because of shipment, and a lot of time loss. Then the question is, who is able to provide the quality which we want in India, and now it's to build up somebody to be able to do that. And I think this is the way we have to go, because A, the market is big, and B, the demand from Lenskart is so strong that there is no other way than pushing in that direction.
Absolutely. But it's a good question. I mean, it's really difficult, yes. When we travel around the world and we talk to different people, we ask always what can you get, or what price can you get for a pair of freeform lenses. I mean, when you're here in India, this is really, you say, oh wow.
It is better to keep silent.
Yeah, it's better to keep. So it's really a challenge. I agree, and I think it's maybe also to find a balance. If in the future the production become easier and we get rid of some steps, it's always an advantage, right? Even if the step is only 5 cents per lens or whatever, get rid of it. But it's a balance between, you know, quality and efficiency. What Pascal said with the tools, resharpening of tools, it saves cost, saves time, but you also have to be sure that the resharpened tool has the quality, that you not have more reject in the end. So it's always this balance, right? And this is really not easy to get to the point, but it's a good question. This is
definitely with the collaboration we will be.
Yes, and I have a comment, if I may, on the Lenskart side. What on the Lenskart side is, from my standpoint, the balance between, let's say, what is capital expenditure and what is operating expenses, because I mean, you are very much focused, and it is astonishing, on the capital expenses, so on such a new. But there is, I mean, this is just accounting in a way the difference, because in the business, in the real day-to-day business, the border between in the new machine and how do you maintain the machine is not not clear as in the accounting. So this is something that may require some. I mean, there is something to do on both sides, I think.
Yeah.
On our side, it's clear enough that we have to re-engineer some processes to serve, otherwise we just lose a fantastic opportunity.
And then I believe one point which is also to be mentioned is, when I look back, being in India 10 years back and being in India today, it's a totally different India. So for maybe 10 years back, setting up a resharpening center, you would have said, well, how to do that? And today, I know there are enough good people and smart people to set something up which is world class. And I know it will happen. The question is just, are we part of it or not?
Yeah,
and this is, for me, every time I leave India, I go back with an excitement which I didn't see a few years back. It's really astonishing how fast it moves, and I think Lenskart is one of the unicorns of India, but one of the many. Is just a sign of how fast India is moving. So, let's see what's coming.
Thank you very much.
Somebody from here? Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you guys for your views. My question is regarding the artificial intelligence. So how do you see the artificial intelligence used in the lens industry, and what type of practices we are doing in different organizations regarding the inspection?
The same question actually I had. Unlikely the conventional manufacturing, these machines which I've seen have many integration of AI and technology. But yes, of course, there is a long way to go. So do we have any vision to more integration of AI into the machines so that our quality assurance and all will be much better than now?
I think so. There's already more available and will come in the future. I mean, this cosmetic inspection is a good example. And it's not only to know that the lens is good or bad, So what is the root cause for the scratch? Or you want to have more information, and for this you need a certain AI. So what I have in mind, I mean, we have in the meantime we have this MES systems like you will have it in the new lab. I guess it's yours, right? Unfortunately, it's okay. No, but an important point is when you look to the production, it changes during the day, right? It can be that you have a bottleneck in the blocking section, you can have a bottleneck in the polishing section, it changes during the day. So an intelligent system now shows you where you do now preventive maintenance or where you do now the cleaning work without having any loss in the production. But you put your equipment on a higher level so that you have more interrupts due to the equipment or failures. So easy steps already which help you to improve your production. So this is the first step in this direction. And then, I mean, there are future steps. Consider, I mean, a turning machine has the tools, has the milling tool, has the turning tips. What is the advantage if a polisher knows what was the condition on a generator? You can polish in a shorter time, right? So you save consumable costs. So there's a lot of possibilities in these systems. But we as a manufacturer, we need the labs as partner to develop this. So a lab has an important function to help us to develop this software and to bring it to a higher level.
Let's take a question from the quality also. I could see a raised hand over there.
So Lenskart has a very unique offering of progressive lenses online we are offering to customers. So major issues that we face in that is adaptation. So what kind of technology advancement or AI can help us reduce those claims so that the customer can adapt better, so that the data that we capture from the customer is in a better way, that we give them a better offering of a unique lens made for their eyes.
Pascal, you would like to answer this?
Yeah, I can try, but it's difficult because there are now two answers. One is, yeah, well, we get the data and we manufacture what you tell us. That's the easy one. And we can do it extremely well, but it doesn't help you because it's still a question of adaptation. And then I think it's interesting to see the entire value chain, that at the end the customer needs lenses which work. And even if the machine did it correct, I mean, that doesn't help. So the customer still has issues. And there, I believe it's a question of the design first, which you use. There are different designs, and knowing which customer is good with which design, I think this is certainly something which I believe could be something which is developed by Lenskart, that you kind of get a feeling of what works for which customer. I don't know how to do it, but that could be a strength. And then the question is also if based on what you do with online probing, or if we have to adjust our machine in a certain way, or the design files. I mean, why not? But then I think AI, there is where AI could come into play. I mean, which correlation works with what? And I mean, thinking further ahead, just producing lenses can be done by everybody. But knowing your customer better for Lenskart could be a strategic advantage, which puts the entry barrier for others very high. So certainly something which would be great to discuss a little bit more in detail, but I have no clear answer. I don't know if you guys...
A clear answer? No.
It's a clear question.
No, but it's also a good point, right? Yeah. When you... Let's say when I want to buy a new car, I can go to this car dealer and this car dealer, and I can try all the cars and look at it, but I cannot get every design on lens and wear it first, right? So it's very difficult, yeah. It's
So Lorenzo, you would like to add on something?
No, I was thinking back to the AI question. Sorry, I have no answer on that. I understand your point. It is interesting. I have no answer. And about the artificial intelligence, I think that all of us is spending resources on that. I come to a comment made by Volker before. I mean, in a way, we are small companies, so the data are not so big, and artificial intelligence requires big data. This is an issue. This is an issue because we face, if you think, you know better than me. I mean, there are so many aspects, issues, trouble, root causes, okay, and the volumes are not so big compared to the ones that are used for. So this is at least what we are, the problem we are facing. We are struggling to come out with something, but I mean, we face this issue.
And it's also very particular in this industry. Most of the industry produce millions of exactly the same. So you can put the picture of what is good and what is bad.
We are not that.
And we produce millions of unique pieces.
That's the point.
Millions of unique pieces. So every piece needs to be adjusted based. And honestly, I don't know any other industry who is doing that well.
That's exactly the point.
No. I mean, everything what you produce during the day is unique, but it must be exactly unique how you want it to be, and not something which is just unique. And this is very special for an industry, and puts us, when we talk about AI, in huge problems, because also what is good is not clear. So Lenskart might think this is okay, while the guys in Switzerland, they think no, that cannot be. So sometimes in Switzerland, lenses are rejected with a dot, even though it's etched away. So the optician says, no, let's go back, which is stupid naturally, because, but this is the different perspective, and AI needs to be adjusted to what the customer wants. And this is extremely tricky. So at the end, you want to say what is good or bad, and not follow us and say, hey, too much lenses fall away. Sometimes you want to have it through, sometimes you want to, and then maybe depending on the error, it's different. So
yeah.
I think the biggest challenge here, the cosmetic inspections, this is something where we are, I mean, all certainly doing some concepts and ideas, and we know we can take pictures of lenses and we can identify everything, okay, fine, but what are we doing with that data? And this is the tricky thing.
Okay, so, so we have been, business partners for years now, right? And we are here for Vision for Billion. So how do you feel, as a business partner, you can help Lenskart, and then in the end we can, help customers and reach out to most of the customers and give them, high quality product and with the best possible cost. What do you feel how we can connect on that?
I mean, for me, it's I'm proud. And I remember when we met for the first time, and you were new to the industry, and really you didn't have a clue about how to produce a lens, and I'm proud because you made a lot of steps, and you're now one of the industry experts knowing how to produce a lens, and it's proud to be a partner of that story.
Volker, you'll add on something here?
No, just keep ongoing, keep improving. Don't forget to clean the machine.
Lorenzo, anything else? So we remember this. We remember
but
clean
first
the
clean MEI machines.
I heard that they don't need cleaning, right?
I was about to say the same thing. I mean, it's a self-cleaning machine.
Yeah.
You can develop more on that.
Yeah.
So what else do you think can help us out to improve our quality?
No, I think I'm impressed by speed velocity, as we said before. I have my only comment is to merge the, let's say, the culture of the ones having a background in this industry, 10 years background, which is, and with the ones with the new ones. This is very important, and to then again, I mean, this will be related to the demand of your customers. I mean, because there is no theory. There is just to answer to the request from your market. Okay, so and this is the most important role, and the same is for us. So it's not something that we have to invent. It is just to listen to customer, to answer their requirements, and to get their feedback. If you are right on that, we will try to come and support you.
We have discussed a lot about manufacturing lenses, doing the edging, and I can see some of the fitting guys who will be interested to understand more of the fitting concept as well.
I just had one question. We don't have an automated system where the lenses can be mounted on the frames right now. It's a completely manual job. So are there any plans on getting this thing automated?
Not from our side.
Or you would have seen something different in the other labs.
So basically, it is still a manual industry, right? And we are talking about a lot of automations on the other stuff, manufacturing lenses, edging lenses, and all that. Fitting still remains the virgin area, so we need to improve there. How can we do what people are doing, what is going around the industry in the fitting section?
It's difficult. Again, you mount a different frame each and every time. So I think it comes to your comment before on AI. I don't see this as. I understand the point. I don't see a solution there.
In my opinion, it's also important that we try to find a good balance between what can be automated, what has to be automated, and what is still manual, right? Because, I mean, I know in the end, I mean, every organization or every company, we have to make a certain profit, we have to invest in new technology, in new things, but we also need labor and we need people. So it's always a balance between people and machines and technology. I think this is important. So, and it's not automatically given that when you have everything automated that you have a better lens. So in the end, the product, I mean, the cosmetic inspection is for me a good field where I say it would make sense because it's exhausting work and the result is for sure different from every person. But there are other fields where I think, or when we turn it around, I would say we can automate it, but the invest for an automation is several millions. It makes never sense, right? And if you look to the humans, I mean, it's amazing what we can do with our hands, right? How quick, what we can feel, and you cannot build just easy robots. They do the same. So it's. I think it's also important.
So just, we've talked about the production, we've talked about the quality, cost, and whatever goes into that. But there's one more important aspect, which I would like you to touch upon. That is on the environment. So how we as lens manufacturers, or you as giving us those machines, can help us make this earth a better place and improve on the green revolution in a certain way. And what are you doing, and what do you think as an industry we should be doing further?
I mean, when we start at the beginning, blocking is for sure a topic. But I mean, there we have different philosophies. In my opinion, it's also the step to get rid of blocking at all. So this is for sure something we are also working on. What Pascal said, the blank is a topic, how much plastic we throw away every day. So this is a huge topic. Energy, it's also important. I mean, we have some machines, they are really using a lot of energy.
Yeah. And maybe water, I would say.
Water is also a big point, yeah.
So what we do about it? I mean, how do we improve on all these factors you just mentioned? On the blocking, I understand there are some blockless technologies which Satisloh and MEM both have entered into. But there are other things like you mentioned energy, you mentioned water, right? And the plastic waste. How do we get rid of it, and how do we improve on that and make this environment a better one?
There are a few clear steps what we have in mind. Certainly not complete, but so we are not on a blockless technology. We are on a alloy-free technology or an alloy replacement technology, which offers the same quality but doesn't use the alloy. But it's still blocking. At the end, we throw away more plastic, but we don't have the heavy metals in the environment. Nevertheless, we haven't achieved to put it at a very, let's say, we are competitive, but not at the level where it would flush the market. So this is certainly something which we are working on, because we believe then it could be better. But at the end, the best would be to get rid of certain steps. Get rid of certain steps, which reduces electricity, reduces water, and reduces also waste. And I think that's the way to go. For Satisloh, we are working that we can per machine tell you exactly what is the usage per lens, which I believe is important, and then we work on targets to reduce that as far as possible. And the waste topic is something which I know there are several concepts ongoing on chemical extraction of certain plastics, which is extremely difficult for the special plastics that we are using in the optics. So that's what I can tell there. We see that possibilities with standard plastic like PET, where for example, a startup out of Switzerland has developed a process to extract the plastic and have it back in a pure form. If we can achieve that, 90% of the 500 billion lenses that we are producing is plastic, which we can put again in the front and put it back into the circle of lens production. And I think that's a big step to go, because it's millions of tons of plastic that we throw away.
Yeah. On our side, sorry, we are delivering the first samples of the core TBA, so the freeform generator, and this is again a TBA machine, dry cut, and with the advantage to reduce the amount of plastic you go through. Yes, the amount of plastic. So this is something we are working on. So, but again, these are all of us are working in that direction. So I'm sure that there will be plenty of solutions. Each one of us will deliver. There is a sound competition.
Yeah, if you consider, I mean, I think it's something, it cannot be driven from us, from the machine manufacturers, but it can be driven from big labs. Yes. As example, every blank is coming in a separate box, right? Just this one. So it's a huge potential.
So Lorenzo, I have a last question to you only. So the question is that we are buying frames from different suppliers. There are many variables in the frame. The material is the variable, and the different vendors, everything, there are lot many variables. So right now we are working on a technology where we are saving one shape and referring that shape to cut all the lenses. But are we planning to do in part of AI or something that a machine can capture the differences of the frame, each independent frame, so that we can cut a lens as per the particular frame?
Yes, we have a solution for that. So we are ready. This is something where we are ready.
Okay.
It's a separate question.
Yeah, it is a small one.
Okay.
Ready for that.
Thank you, gentlemen. And
Thank you.
It was really nice interacting with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.